What's up, guys? Winter Kills here. We're back with another dual commentary video. So we got a Nekroz mirror match today. It's been a while since I uploaded one of those. Friend was over last night to do a little testing, and I decided to record the match. So this video will be the whole match. So as you can see, we'll see Kaleidoscope Shuret adding Bryo, pitching Bryo for whatever that card was. Looks like Great Sorcerer. And Valk will be tributing himself and Great Sorcerer, and triggering Great Sorcerer to add any spellcaster Nekroz card, adding Valk. Key in the mirror match. Obviously clear your board from getting trished, and protect yourself from getting OTK'd. So then, banishing Kaleidoscope and Unicorn. Search for another mirror, adding Nekroz mirror. Setting up a Unicorn play by banishing the Great Sorcerer in grave next turn, which will allow him to send one Nekroz card from his deck to grave. The other Nekroz player starting off with summoning Senju, adding Kaleidoscope, chaining Maxi, summoning Unicorn by sending Herald. That is the one sort of main deck difference between my brother on the left and my friend on the right. Is that he mains Maxi. I don't believe the other one does. I don't think he mains that much for the mirror match. And also on the left is playing 2 Trish, as to the right he's playing 2 Valk, 1 Decisive, 1 Gungnir, 1 Trish, 3 Valk on the left. So their builds vary a little bit. So now he's got the Valk option. He'll banish the Shrit, or not the Shrit, the Great Sorcerer to trigger its effect to send any Nekroz card from deck to grave. And if any of you haven't noticed already, these cards are sort of becoming staples now in the Nekroz main deck. As before they were seen as tech cards. Now they're being seen more main now that Shrit's at one. They give you a lot of searches. They can help for tribute summoning your monsters. Still under the Maxi, he'll go under Direwolf, pop Direwolf, and his set card, which is an MST, obviously not needed, at least for game 1. But yeah, Exa, Sorcerer, and Shuret are obviously all staples at 1. Some builds are playing Dance Princess, so playing one of each of the smaller Nekroz monsters. Some builds are even playing Catastor to special summon out your monsters that you need tribute for. Starting off his turn, he'll send you into Unicorn, sending Herald, standard play. Searching his main deck for any Nekroz monster and or ritual spell. And I believe he will end up adding a Valk. Or nope, another Unicorn. Unicorn pitching itself to add back Shuret. Unicorn is definitely much more important now that Shuret's at 1, because you can just add it right back from your graveyard to do what he just did there. Activating Cycle, tributing it, Shuret off for the whole summon. Summoning Valk. Shuret will add him Bryo. He'll pitch Bryonak. Bryonak adding Gungnir. Now if he could summon the Gungnir, he'd have the option to push through his Valk, which allow him to put damage on board and potentially go for game, because that's usually how in the mirror match damage is put on, whether somebody who has the Valk, they can put, or whoever's the Gungnir who can push through the Valk, generally key, and will help you win the game. Gungnir is definitely an important card in the main deck. However, always played at 1. Never seen anybody really try it at 2, which is something I've wanted to try myself. But I think we won't see him bring the Gungnir down. Just gonna go right into battle phase, and he'll be met with the Valk on the attack of the Senju, leaving him no choice to combine his 2 monsters into Emerald. Activating his effect to recycle 3 cards. Recycling the Shuret, Bryo, and a Senju, in hopes of drawing that Senju again. One of the tactics of the Nekroz deck is to, obviously, Emerald, now that chain is gone, to recycle Manjus, Senjus in the Daigu's Emerald play, such as that one where you draw 3 cards in the hope to draw the Senju that you need, or Manju for next turn, off the one you recycle. And obviously recycling Shurit, which is a very, very important card. He does have too many cards in his hand though during the end phase, so he's deciding on what cards to discard in the end phase. Obviously a tough choice when you have so many resources in your hand. We'll discard Mirror and Senju. He'll pass turn. Nekroz player will start his turn off by banishing a Mirror and some other Nekroz monster to search Kaleidoscope. Senju coming down, adding Unicorn. He'll go for his Kaleidoscope play, sending Herald, summoning Unicorn. Now, opponent on the right is making the read that he does not have Valk. So basically we're going to see him go all out here and make a very, very interesting play. So obviously he's going to add Bryo off the Shurit after summoning the Valk. Now he has a couple options here. Now that he has Valk on board, he can add any Nekroz monster from his deck to his hand. Originally adding Decisive Armor, but he's going to get Decisive Armor in a different way. So instead of adding Decisive, he'll add Exa, and then tribute it away with Valk. And when Exa is tributed, you can add any Dragon-type monster, Nekroz monster from your deck to hand. He'll draw a free card, and he'll get his Decisive Armor, putting on a lot of pressure and helping him win the game. Because he did not have the Valk in hand, he would have won right there. So we're moving on to game 2 now. Friend Adam on the right there, up 1-0 to my brother on the left, who also has a channel. We'll be posting stuff there soon, so you can go check him out. He is featured on my channel currently, and we'll be posting stuff soon. A lot of Dark Souls content coming up. If you want to go check that out, if that interests you, go ahead and check him out. Featured on my channel page, like I said. But anyways, Nekroz player starting off a very standard turn. We'll see a Senju, a Unicorn, and a Valk. Very, very standard turn, but a very, very good turn because it allows you to get a lot of resources for next turn, and you can clear your board in order to not get Trish, which is generally the theme in these mirror matches. It's kind of a back and forth, turn by turn, looking exactly like this. After watching ARG format a little bit in the mirror match, where Trish is not legal, gameplay is a little different because you don't have to worry about clearing your board every now and then. And with that being the case in the standard Konami format, is that you're kind of left with these repetitive plays, because obviously getting Trished will put you in a very, very bad position. And leaving yourself to get Trish in the mirror match is somewhat stupid, and is always constantly avoided, which is why both players always seem to constantly do it until somebody can stop the Valk or push through it in the battle phase. So he'll add another mirror, passing turn, leaving his board open. I believe he does have Valk, so he's safe from getting OTK'd as far as we know. Debating on how to start off his turn. Could be another turn of Senju, Manju, Valk, tributing it off. But I don't think he will. I don't think he has all the resources, especially with his Emerald being gone. That's why I like 2 Emeralds in the Nekroz extra deck, because it allows you to recycle your other Emerald, as well as other cards. Gives you a good rank 4 to go into, especially if you contribute it away with Valk. He'll add Shurit off Rhoda, then he'll summon a Manju for Unicorn, activating Kaleidoscope, sending Herald, summoning Unicorn, going into the main deck to search. We have a Maxi that has been chained just a few moments ago. So now he's under pressure here. He's got to make a decision. So is he going to let him draw extra cards? Or is he going to leave his board there in order to get trished? So he'll go into battle phase right away, not wasting any time. But it'll be met with a Valk and banishing Bryanak from his grave, I believe. Currently unknown because his banishment's off the screen. So he'll go for Rhapsody, banishing 2 cards, Cycle and Shear It, leaving his Rhapsody there. So obviously not being able to clear will lead to a Trish. Now, Adam, my friend Adam on the right there, needs to capitalize on this. This doesn't come up too often, especially in a skilled mirror match like this, where you have this opportunity. Sometimes you just don't have what it takes, especially under Max C. You'd rather not have them draw all those cards and just hope you can't Trish. But I'll go into Rhapsody, which is a good play because it stopped him from getting a mirror search. That's why he'll immediately summon the Sendry at the start of his turn. We'll see a Unicorn come down on his side of the field, attributing a Herald. Obviously negating the effects of Rhapsody, but it does not matter really, because he has no active effects while he's on the field. We'll see Exomirror activate, banishing Clausulus and Bryanak, which is a more common play now that Shurit's gone. We usually see Shurit being attributed off Cycle, Shurit adding Klaus, adding Mirror, Mirror banishing Shurit for Trish, or some orderly fashion such as that. But he'll hit the Rhapsody off field, I think a Mirror out of grave, and a Senju out of hand, not hitting the Valk. The Senju or the Manju wasn't the best hit, because there can be multiples of those in your hand, and they're both played at each at 3. Rather would have hit a blue card out of his hand, but he won't, leaving him to get Valked once again. Now we're going to see Nekroz player on the right go into the extra deck. He's going to try to clear his hand so he doesn't get trished. Checking his grave, he's going to go into a Rhapsody. Rhapsody will banish a Valk and a Bryo out of his grave, I believe. You know, those are the only Nekroz monsters he has left in his grave. A Raigeki will come down. Very, very strong play, leaving his field wide open. And we'll see a Thunder King. Thunder King here in the simplified game state. Very, very powerful card. This is one thing about Nekroz player on the left, my brother. Very interesting tech choice in his deck that's different from your streamlined Nekroz build, is he does main Thunder King. Very, very useful in a situation like this when you're left top decking simplified game state. Obviously, you can be dead sometimes, but you always have Valk attributed away in a perfect world. So, Nekroz player on the right, Adam, debating how he's going to deal with the Thunder King. Bowblader will come down. Getting rid of the Thunder King. Just showing how important Bowblader still is, even though that Jin is gone. Because he can run into cards like that. He can also run into cards like Vanity's Fiend. Bowblader is still an important card. Not as much as it used to be, but still important for getting rid of cards like that. Other floodgates that you can't deal with, you know, sort of like Jin. A lot of people think, oh, Jin's gone, you don't need to play Bowblader or Book of Eclipse. Not necessarily true, being shown here. So he'll pass after searching a mirror, I believe. Checking his banishment zone and his graveyard before he makes his play. Activating Kaleidoscope. Sending a Herald. For Unicorn. One thing that's different about the extra deck of the Nekroz player on the left is that he plays 3 Herald in the extra deck, which is not a bad choice now that Shurit's at 1. Kaleidoscope plays will be more prevalent, especially with the Herald play being as good as it is, especially since they didn't hit Unicorn or Kaleidoscope or Herald. Still a very, very strong play. So playing 3 Herald is definitely not a bad idea anymore. This was kind of a staple at 2 now, but 3. Definitely not a bad idea. So he'll add Bryo. Bryo pitching itself for a Great Sorcerer. Swinging in for damage. Then main phase 2 opting to go into rank 4 Xyz, combining his 2 monsters for 1. Those World Championship qualifier sleeves. Going to Dweller. Dweller's not a very bad card in the mirror match, especially since that's a 2200 Dweller. So it has 1 XP material that's originally water. Actually 2, technically. So this will stop mirror searches, it'll stop Shurit effects, X effects, Great Sorcerer effects, because those effects are triggered in the graveyard. It will not work. It will still act as a full tribute summon, but they won't add a warrior card or such, or dragon, or spellcaster. Clauseless, being pitched for cycle. You're gonna see that cycle come down, I think. Maybe it's mirror. He's got to deal with this 2200 Dweller. Dweller is almost becoming a staple at 2 in the Nekroz extra deck, strictly for that reason. So we'll banish 2 unicorns for the 1 Valk, swinging in over the 2200 Dweller, then attacking for 14, valking away the Senju, drawing a card. Now we're going to see a very, very interesting play here that'll turn the tide of the game. Really, really quick. Seems like our Nekroz player on the left is in a tight spot. He has 1 card in hand, which I believe is a Shurit. Very, very powerful card. He's got a Senju. Senju searches Clauseless, searches Cycle. 2 set back row on the other player's side. I believe one of them is a Torrential, which could be a blowout card, especially for the card he has in his hand, which I believe is Nekroz of Gungnir, which you can pitch, target 1 Nekroz monster you control, and it is not destroyed by battle or card effects this turn. He'll activate Cycle, trimming Shurit to summon Unicorn. On that summon, we'll see Torrential pitching Gungnir. Now his field is open, so he can search any warrior. He's going to add Trish, allowing him to search mirrors. He'll search Nekroz mirror, which he hasn't used any yet this duel, I don't believe. Checking his grave, if he has a 3-6 combo, he'll just banish Shurit instead, and he'll resolve the Trish. He'll chain Book of Eclipse, banish Decisive Armor, Valk, and probably a mirror out of his graveyard. Maybe I actually think he banishes the Gungnir, because that Gungnir is a very, very pesky card in the mirror match. There it is. What huge play, that Torrential, very good card, but spelled for disaster later on. And we'll get a free draw, flipping face up due to Book of Eclipse's effect. I'll swing into a set Manju, and then he'll wheel Scoop upon drawing a Maxi or MST. And we're heading into game 3 now. After that huge play, that Torrential spelling disaster, even though he had the Gungnir to go along with it. So, Nekroz player on the right will make the choice to go second, obviously. Starting off his turn on the left there with a Rhoda and a Clauseless. I believe adding Kaleidoscope and Shurit. We'll see Kaleidoscope activated, tributing off Shurit, summoning Decisive Armor. Shurit adding Bryonek, Bryonek adding Valk. Very, very obscure first turn play. Then summoning Thunder King, so here we are again in this weird situation. He's going to set 3 cards, I believe, here with a Decisive Armor on field. Very hard card to get over first turn, especially if you don't have Trish. And that Thunder King hurting him a lot. So he's going to run into it with a Thunder King first, and then swing in with the Decisive Armor, leaving him in a very, very tight spot. He does not. He's going to have a Mind Crush, actually, calling Valk, Has a Maxi and a Lancia in his hand. Summoning Unicorn, swinging over the Ryo. Tripping a Senju or Manju from hand. Obviously not the best. He's gonna Raigeki, swing in for another 33. That'll be game because he will enter the scoop phase because he cannot do anything. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this mirror match. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to see more mirror matches as far as Nekroz goes. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And as always, winner kills. Signing out. See you in the next one.